quite there yet.
Welcome to our channel, 6 Miles to Go. My name is Chelsea, and I'm really excited to share with you guys the things that we are going to be doing during our family learning this Christmas season. Christmas is one of my favorite holidays, and I'm really excited to get to do some fun things with the kids during our family learning time. Our girls are doing the virtual academy through our local school district this year, and that usually lasts from 9 to noon. Sometimes they have a few more lessons for that day, and so they might not get done until like 1 or 1:30. And then after they're finished with that and we eat lunch together, then we do family learning. So last month in November, during our family learning time, we did thankful journaling, and we focused on being thankful and giving, and we also did a thankful tree that I posted on our social media if you want to check that out. And I also have a post on our blog about that. This month we are turning our focus to Christmas, and so I have a few things that I want to share with you that we'll be doing this month. I've shared a little bit about our Bible curriculum that we're using. It's called Route 66, and I was thinking about pausing with that for a second, just so that we could turn our focus to our Advent reading in the mornings. But then the more I thought about it, and as I looked through the curriculum, in order for us to stay on task and finish by the end of the year, if we would pause it for a few weeks while we were doing Advent, we'd be really behind. So I decided to then shift our Advent reading to our family learning time, which is in the afternoon. So what we have read in the past, and this is actually the same book that my mom used when we were homeschooling, it's called Jotham's Journey. And this book is really engaging, and it has a storyline with it. So it's a storybook, which helps the kids to really draw in close to what they're reading. And then on top of the story, at the end of each of these sections, there's a Advent section that kind of pulls together what the story was talking about and how it relates to Advent. And so I was really going back and forth last month about, should we do this one again or should I look for something new? And we did our first Advent reading as a family, and the older girls were really honed in on it, which is the first time that that's happened. In the years past, they've kind of been like, we have to read this again. And the sections aren't super long, but I will say I feel like this book is better suited for kids 6 and older. Younger than that, they just seem to really struggle to focus on it. And the cool thing about this is when I looked it up, they have some additional books that are a part of this series. They have 4 of them, and I'm going to link my blog below. I put those on there, and they also have one for Easter. So we're doing this one again this year, but next year I think I'm going to purchase one of the other books to give it a try and see how the kids like that one, and then I'll update you guys with how that goes. The next thing that we're doing during our family learning time is going to be our Advent bags. And I don't know if your kids do this, but every year my kids are always asking me how many more days till Christmas, all the way up until we get to Christmas. And so a few years in a row we've done countdowns. I usually do the little links with construction paper where they take one off each day to count down to Christmas. But this year I printed off some of these little papers, and they each tell how many days till Christmas. Like this one says 25 days until Christmas. And I'm going to staple these onto paper bags for them to open up each day, and it'll be a fun activity for us to do together. These activities range from things that tie into our Jotham's Journey story, like hand ornaments. For one day with our Advent bags, we are going to do a family movie night with a hot cocoa bar. So just a lot of little fun things like that to get them excited for the Christmas season. And there are also some of them that are going to be journaling activities. I did like doing that last month where the older girls just took some quiet time to sit down and write out their thoughts and think about some of the things that we were going over. So I will give them some reflection journaling pages for them to do quietly and just kind of write down their thoughts as we look towards celebrating the birth of Christ. So I always talk about one of the beautiful things about this whole craziness with 2020 is the fact that I have the opportunity to do Bible each morning with my kids, and we can really just dig deep into God's Word. Something else that was beautiful that came out of this year was the fact that our family is reading a lot more because we have a lot more time at home. And so we've enjoyed getting books from the library and reading on our own, but also reading as a family. We're shifting our focus to Christmas, and we have a whole another set of books that we got from the library. I think I have one more upstairs that we will be reading. I looked through some of them, and some of these are really fantastic, especially if you have elementary school kids. The reason why I choose picture books over chapter books is because I do have a 1- and 4-year-old. What I found last month is that it worked out really well to start with kind of an older concept like the Advent reading, or last month it was our journaling that we were talking about and looking deeper and reflecting on verses. So shifting from that to something simple like a picture book for the younger kids so they can also be engaged. So the first book that we're going to be reading is called What is Given from the Heart. This actually is not a Christmassy type book. I got this for our reading last month and we just didn't get to it. But it's talking about giving things from your heart. Sometimes it doesn't take a lot of money to give something, but it just takes some time and some creativity. And so I thought this would fit perfectly into our Christmas reading because we are going to be talking about being selfless and giving. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This is a classic one. And for this one, I'm going to kind of integrate some writing in it for my 2 older kids. So we're going to read the book, and then we're going to watch either 1 or 2 of the movies. I haven't decided yet. And then I want them to write a review of it in comparison about how the book is compared to the movie or movies. This next book is called It's Not About You, Mr. Santa Claus. Now, what I want to say is that in our family, even before we had kids, Alan and I decided that we were not going to do the Santa Claus thing or tell them the Easter Bunny was real. That's just a personal decision that we made, and I truly believe that that's a decision that each and every family makes, and there is no right and there is no wrong when it comes to that. That's just my opinion. So in our family, our kids know that Santa Claus is just a character, just like one of the Disney princesses. But the funny thing is, my 4-year-old is convinced that Santa is real. Last year, she asked me, and I was honest with her, and she didn't believe me, and she tried to prove her case why Santa was real. And for us, I don't encourage it, but I don't discourage her imagination. I think, allowing your kids to use their imagination is important for life and learning, so I just let her have that. This book is a letter written to Santa Claus to tell him the true meaning of Christmas. And what I love about this is for kids that do believe in Santa, it doesn't take away from that, but it does redirect their attention to the true meaning of Christmas, which is, in my family, what I always want to do with our kids. This one is the best Christmas pageant ever. This is actually an adaptation of that book, and we'll be reading A Christmas Carol. How can you have Christmas without a Christmas Carol, right? So they'll also be doing a writing assignment with this one, Legend of the Candy Cane, and I thought this one would be a fun one to read as we eat some candy canes. It just kind of gives us an excuse to get some candy canes in. Who doesn't want an excuse to eat candy canes? That's what we're doing as far as our Christmas reading goes and the books that we are going to read. So hopefully you can look up some of these books and enjoy them as well this holiday season. The next thing we're going to be working on is something that I actually thought about as we decided to do the virtual academy with our public school. So I'll just be really honest with you guys, because I promised that I would be honest and transparent on the videos that I posted. I've been wanting to homeschool for a long time, and a lot of what stopped me was the fact that I didn't think that I had what it took to be a homeschool parent. I felt extremely inadequate. I didn't go to college. I'm not the smartest person in the universe, and I really just felt like I didn't think I could give my kids as much as a teacher could. And even after we decided to participate in the virtual academy, I had moments before, classes started in the summer where I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I really hope I don't screw them up. I hope that, as the teachers are presenting material and as they need help, that I'll be able to figure it out so that I can teach them. I've just always had a lot of doubts in my mind that I could be a homeschool parent. And so that's why I jumped on this opportunity to do the virtual academy, because I felt like, I could just kind of dip my feet in the water without all the way jumping in. And honestly, I just one day was like kind of on the fence after it started as to whether I should just put my kids back in school and do the hybrid program, because we were having some issues in the very beginning, especially with my older daughter, and I was just having a lot of doubts. And during my devotional time, I was reminded of something that I thought about this summer, and it was that my kids' teachers are obviously more educated than I am. They're college graduates. They study to teach children, and they have all the skills that they need to be a teacher. But this year I was given the opportunity to go beyond education and teach my kids how to be good people. That's not something that is an extreme focus in school, right? The teachers are there to educate the kids so that they can go on to do something and be productive in life. But as their parent, now I have the opportunity to not only pour faith into them, but just to show them how to serve others and how to change this world with their attitude and with the person that they are, and how much more valuable that is than any education that they could ever receive. And I do have something to give to them. As I was reminded of that, I was kind of thinking about the fact that this was opening up an opportunity for our family to serve. And even though 2020 has not been what we all imagined, it has really honestly put things into perspective, I think, for a lot of us. And we see that even though we're lacking in some areas, we have a lot that we can give, and we have ways that we can serve other people. So that's been the focus of our family learning time, is taking a break from reading, writing, math, all those things that they're learning in school, and diving deep into what it means to be a better friend, what it means to be a better servant of the Lord, what it means to serve other people. And so one of the things that we've been doing is service projects. And I'm just throwing some of these things out there as ideas that you might want to do with your family, not to say, hey, look, we're doing all these wonderful things. Because something that I've really emphasized to our kids, and something I feel strongly about, is the best ways that you can serve and give to people are the ways that nobody knows about. It feels so good to do something for somebody or to give and not tell a soul about it. It's just to be between you, that person, and God. And so that's what my intent is. It's not to say, we're doing all these wonderful things, but just to throw out, here are some ways that you maybe can serve if you feel called to serve. But of course, our main goal is to focus on serving as the Lord directs us without getting any acknowledgement for it. That's the sweetest thing that can happen. Here are a few things that we're going to be doing this year, and we actually have already started. We started at the end of last month. The first one is Chores for Charity. So at my kids' Awana meeting a few weeks ago, we were getting food for the food pantry and bringing in particularly mac and cheese. And when we did that project, what did I do? I went out and I bought a bunch of mac and cheese and gave it to the kids to hand to them. And their leader brought up a good point that, the kids didn't really give that mac and cheese, the parents did. And so maybe look for opportunities that the children can give. And so thinking about that, I decided to put some popsicle sticks in a cup, and I have chores on each one of these with a dollar amount. And these are not their normal chores. These are going above and beyond chores. And so the girls have the option to do these chores and earn money that they can use for other people. That's the stipulation with this. This isn't money, extra money that they can do fun things with. This is money that they're earning to help other people. Learn how to turn their focus away from themselves and onto other people. This is a really hard concept, especially around Christmas. Even adults, we find ourselves making a list of things that we hope we get for Christmas, or we feel like we need to pick up on Black Friday for ourselves. This is a wonderful time to not focus on the presents that we're getting for ourselves, our families, but focus on serving others and giving people gifts that may not be able to have the luxury of affording Christmas gifts, or maybe even utility bills or food, something as simple as that. The second thing that we're going to be working on are blessing bags. You get a gallon-sized Ziploc bag and you put in socks and chapstick and soap, and I'll probably throw in some sanitizer, a few snacks in there. And as you see people on the side of the road that maybe you're holding up signs asking for money, you can hand a blessing bag to them. And the last project that we're going to be doing, we are going to tinsel some people. So what we're going to do is we are going to put either a basket or a bag, I haven't decided yet, and we're going to fill it with tinsel and goodies for our neighbors and anybody else that we decide to drop them off. So we're going to drop it off on the person's porch, we're going to ring the doorbell, and we're going to leave. And then inside of the bag or the basket, it will have a paper encouraging that person to tinsel somebody else and pass it on. In one of my very first videos, I shared our schedule with you guys, and I told you on Mondays that we would have Make It Mondays, where we would be doing something fun together, like making a craft or baking something. And on Fridays, we would have Fun Fridays, where we went to do something fun. So for the month of December, we are still keeping that going. The kids really enjoy it. Our Make It Mondays, some of them we will be doing some of our service projects. Other Mondays we will throw in some fun things like making cocoa bombs. That's really big this year, those hot cocoa bombs. And so we're gonna try to make some, and I'm gonna post a video and you can see if it is a failed it or nailed it moment. We'll also be baking some of our favorite holiday treats. One of our family traditions is on Christmas Eve, we bake a ton of sweet treats and desserts. We usually do chocolate covered pretzels and shortbread cookies. On Fun Fridays this month, for the whole entire month, we are going to different light displays in and around Ohio. So that video will be coming soon. We're gonna rank our favorites and share some of those with you. Those are some of the things that we are gonna be doing during our family learning this Christmas season. I hope that you are having a wonderful Christmas season so far, and I will catch you in the next video. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful. Subscribe to our channel so you never miss a video that we post, and I will see you